Welcome all of you to the chemistry online classes. So this is the chapter which is going on now, is that is coordination compounds. In our last class we have discussed about the Werner's theory, which was also one of the important concept, and in today's class we are going to discuss about the valence bond theory. So see here, many theories are proposed to explain about the coordination compounds structure and its properties. Those are explained with the various theories. Those are nothing but valence bond theory is also used to explain that concept, and even crystal field theory and ligand field theory and molecular orbital theory. All these are the theories which can give us idea about the coordination compounds and the structure and the properties of such a complexes. Those are given by these theories. In these theories, today we are going to discuss about the valence bond theory. This valence bond theory was proposed by the scientist Linus Pauling. Okay, he was the one who proposed the valence bond theory, and he given certain postulates. In your NCERT, these features are not there. These are the certain postulate, you can say silent features, you can say. These features are not there in your NCERT. For understanding the concept for more better, I have listed out the postulates or the features here. Just I will go through explaining it, and we will apply these features when I will explain with the example. Okay. So see here, a central metal atom provides the vacant orbitals for the formation of the coordinate bonds with ligand. It means, see here, suppose I have a complex like this. Suppose I have a complex like this. This is the central metal atom and this is the ligand. So according to the valence bond theory, the central metal atom provides, this central metal atom provides the vacant orbitals for the ligand. For what purpose? To form the coordinate bond. So this is the first point. And then now it will, the central metal atom will going to provide the vacant orbitals. Then how many vacant orbitals? See here, that is the second point. The number of vacant orbitals provided by the metal ion is same as its coordination number. It means how many ligands wants to attach for that central metal atom, that much vacant orbitals are provided by the central metal atom. Suppose this is the central metal atom, it wants to provide its vacant orbitals. So how many vacant orbitals it will going to provide? Depending upon the ligand. How many ligands will going to donate for it? Depending upon that, it will going to provide the its vacant orbitals. Okay. And next, the vacant orbitals undergo hybridization to give the identical orbitals. Suppose there are many orbitals are present. Okay, many orbitals are present. The incoming ligand will not going to get for which orbit it should fulfill. So these vacant orbitals first itself undergoes hybridization to give the identical orbitals. Okay, and each ligand has at least one lone pair of electron. Each ligand has at least one lone pair of the electron. That may be having two or more, but at least those have the one lone pair of electron. Then next point, the hybrid orbitals overlap with filled orbitals of the ligand to form the coordinate bond between the metal and ligand. Similar to first point only. See here, this central metal atom will going to provide the vacant orbitals. Okay, and ligand will going to fulfill those vacant orbitals. It means the filled orbitals of ligand will going to bond with the central metal atom to form which type of the bond? To form the coordinate bond. That only they have given the hybrid orbitals. The hybrid orbitals are provided by the central metal atom. Those are overlap with the filled orbitals. Those are overlap with the filled orbitals of the ligands to form the coordinate bond. So this is the coordinate bond between central metal atom and ligand. Okay. And next one, the greater the overlapping of the orbital, stronger will be the coordinate bond. Suppose the orbitals are overlapping, the extent of overlapping is more, that time the bond is strong. and here coordinate bond is there. So, if the extent of overlapping is more, that bond is also stronger bond. Okay. And next, the geometry depends upon the hybridization of the metal orbital. The geometry depends upon the hybridization of the metal orbital. Geometry, it means its shape, it depends upon the hybridization. Suppose there is a sp hybridization takes place, means its geometry is linear. If sp2 is there, means triangular, sp3 is there, means tetrahedral, and so on. Okay. And one more thing, if n minus 1 d orbitals are used for the hybridization, that complex is said to be a inner complex. Okay. If nd, and it is the nth orbit, it means nth orbit, nd orbitals are used, means that complex is said to be a outer, nd means outer, n minus 1 means inner complex. Okay. Suppose there is a presence of the unpaired electron that behaves as a paramagnetic complex. If there is no unpaired electron, that behaves as a diamagnetic complex. So, all these are the postulates. So, do not worry about if you are not getting exactly what I am telling. So, let us go for the example, so you can understand it very well. Okay. Suppose this is the complex which I have, and I want to find out its geometry, its hybridization, its magnetic property based on VBT. Okay. This 4 examples like this I am going to solve, and those 4 examples are very important. Definitely in those 4 examples, one will be asked definitely for 3 marks. Okay. In those 4, anyone is asked for the 3 marks. Okay. So, like this they are going to give you a complex ion, and they will going to ask you explain the geometry, hybridization, and the magnetic properties of this complex ion based on VBT. Okay. The question will be like this. So, let us go for how to solve it. So, the compound name is, how to name it, hexa fluorido cobalt, but it is a negatively charged complex, cobaltate. What about oxidation state? Find out. X plus 6 into fluorine can donate minus 1, which is equivalent to minus 3. So, the value will be x minus 6 minus 3, if it goes, I think it is a plus 3 only. Okay, I am sure it is plus 3. So, 3 ion. Clear? So, now let us go for the central metal atom. So, cobalt is the central metal atom. So, what is its atomic number? 27. So, the configuration will be yes or no? So, just you calculate, cross check 27, but cobalt is in the plus 3 oxidation state. So, the cobalt 3 plus 3 means you have to remove the 3 electrons from the outer cell. So, suppose this is all same, and here only I will write, I want to remove the 3 electrons, 2 are removed from the 4s and 1 more is removed from the 3d. It means 3d 6, 4s 0. Clear? Now, it is cobalt plus 3 configuration. So, how it will be arranged? Only 3D I am going to draw here. Okay. The d orbital has a 5 suborbitals. D orbital has a 5 suborbital, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I correct? And then 4s, it is empty, take it as a 4s, and even 4p is also there, even this is also empty. So, I will write here 4p 0, 4s 0. But what about 3d? 3d consisting of 6 electrons, I will write here, and I have to substitute those 6 electrons here. First singly occupy, then there is a pairing. Clear? So, now this is the arrangement. Now this is the arrangement. Okay. So till now fluorine not came towards it. Okay. Now the fluorine wants to make a complex with cobalt. The fluorine wants to make a complex with the cobalt, but it has a confusion whether to donate the electron to the 3d or 4s or 4 that is 4p. During that time what happens, first in the central metal atom the hybridization will going to be takes place. These orbitals undergoes hybridization. These undergoes hybridization. As fluorine is a weak ligand, here there is no pairing takes place. Here there is no pairing will going to be takes place. These remain as it is. These remain as it is. So now I will tell you, keep in mind that fluorine, that is fluorido, is weak ligand. Fluorido is weak ligand, so no pairing takes place. So during that time what happens? Hybridization will going to be takes place. This is (3d). And it is 4s, it is 0 because empty, 4p it is also 0, even 4d is also there and that is also empty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correct. Now, how many fluorines are there? 6. Each fluorine can give a 1 lone pair of electron. It means we want 6 orbitals. 6 fluorines are there, so we want the 6 orbitals. How those 6 orbitals are generated? See here, due to fluorine is a weak ligand, these will not going to be pair up, those remain as it is. But F wants to donate its electron. How many F are there? 6 F are there, means we want 6 orbitals from this one. Okay, take 6, 1 of the 4s, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many totally? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes or no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, it is 1 of the S, 3p and D2. So, here sp3d2 hybrid orbital hybridization takes place. sp3d2 hybridization takes place. Okay. And these are the hybrid orbitals. These are the hybrid orbitals. And here 3 empty 4d orbitals are remained as it is. Now, this sp3 hybrid orbitals are donated by these, for this vacant orbitals, the electrons are donated by the 6 fluorine. See here, 1 fluorine can able to give 1 lone pair of electron, another fluorine can be able to give another pair. Similarly, 6 fluorine will going to give 6 pairs of the electron. It means the 12 electrons are donated by ligand, that is fluorido ligand. Okay. Are you getting what I am telling? So, and here it remains as it is. Okay, it is D2 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Are you getting what I am telling? So, now the 12 electron pairs are donated by the ligand. So, what about the hybridization? Here hybridization is which type of the hybridization? First you take S, sp3d2, 1 of the 4s, 3 of the 4p and 2 of the 4d orbitals are takes place. That is sp3d2 is the its hybridization. And what about the its geometry? Geometry, 6 fluorines are there. Geometry is octahedral. Geometry is octahedral. And what about magnetic property? Magnetic property. So, I said you, if there is a presence of the lone pair of the electron, here in the metal lone pair of the electrons are there. So, it is a paramagnetic. Okay. And it utilizes outer d orbital. It utilizes outer d orbital. So, it is a outer complex. So, it is a outer complex. And here there are many number of the lone pair of the electrons are there. So, it is also a high spin complex. High spin complex. So, these are the points which are explained on the basis of the VBT. Then I said you octahedrally. So, how it will be? The structure will be like this. Cobalt is the central metal atom and 6 fluorines are attached with it in such a way that like this. So, this is the complex which is having the charge of -3. This is the octahedral. So, now I will tell you how I will apply these rules. First you understood? See here, cobalt F6 -3 is the complex ion which is given. We need to find out its hybridization, its magnetic property and whether it is and its geometry we can say, and in order to know its high spin or outer complex whatever on the basis of VBT. First look at the central metal atom. Which is the central metal atom here? Cobalt. Then find out its oxidation number. In which form it is there? +3. It is in the +3 form. So, what will be the configuration? Previously it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. In some books directly up to this they are going to give you argon, up to it like this argon they are going to write, and here it will be 3d7 and 4s2. But when it is in the +3 form, it means 3 electrons should be removed. So, those 3 electrons are removed from here, 4s will be completely 0, 3d will be in the form of 3d6. Okay. So, how these are arranged? Like this, 3d6 and 4s 0, 4p and again 4d is also there, but it is empty. Now, fluorine wants to make a bond with cobalt. Now, we are talking only about, till now we did only the part of cobalt. Now, the fluorine wants to make a bond with cobalt, yes or no? Fluorine wants to donate its electron towards the cobalt, but it must provide the vacant orbitals. There are many vacant orbitals are there. So, the fluorine has for which orbital it should come? It depends upon the fluorine. Fluorine is a weak ligand. Fluorine is a weak ligand. So, these electrons will not going to be pair off, those remain as it is. So, the hybridization takes place with the other orbitals which are instead of 3d. So, which are the other empty orbitals here? 4s, 4p and 4d. So, totally how many fluorines are there? 6 are there. It means how many orbitals are needed for the providing? 6 orbitals are needed. So, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up to this we want only 6 orbitals, we got it. So, which type of the hybridization is? sp3d2. sp3d2 hybridization takes place, and these hybrid orbitals are donated with the ligand electrons. Each fluorine can give one pair of the electron. One pair means 2 electrons. So, totally 6 F are there. So, 12 electrons are donated by the ligand. So, here 12 electrons are donated by the fluorido in order to make a complete geometry, that is octahedral geometry to this complex. And the important bit here is you need to mention which type of the hybridization and its geometry and its magnetic property along with these 2 points, whether it is outer complex or inner complex or high spin complex or low spin complex. I hope so it is clear for you. So, whatever these are the silent features, on the basis of that only I have explained. So, first just look at the central metal atom, find out its write down its electronic configuration, find out its which form, whether it is +2, +3 and remove those electrons, then write the orbitals, make a hybridization there, which type of the hybridization it is there you have to mention, then electrons are represented which are donated by the ligand. So, this is how we are going to explain this first example in this class. Few more example, it means totally 4 examples are there. In that today we covered one of the example. Similarly, other 3 examples we will continue in our next class. Until that, keep watching the video. Thank you.